Welcome to Dorset. Today we're at Horton Tower and we're here for a stormy sunset. Hi guys, great to see you all again. Thanks so much for joining me. First of all, a couple of things. I'm sorry I've been away for a couple of weeks. I mean, reality is the weather's just not been there, conditions have been poor, and I just didn't want to put out a blog that was just not particularly interesting. I could have put, the odd bits and pieces here and there out, but it just didn't seem worth it. It's always got to be entertaining, and it wasn't there, and I just wasn't feeling it. So yeah, apologies for being away a little bit. And second apology, we're back at Horton Tower, and I know I've already shot this one for you and you've seen it, but you've seen it at sunrise, so maybe a slightly different angle on it, but obviously we're still governed by how far we can go at the moment. So I've got to stay within a certain area, and this happens to be just one of the areas that I can get away with visiting at the moment. So we thought we'd come down here, but just have a look behind me. Can you see that big weather system just moving past the tower itself? There's been some really interesting conditions here today so far. There's a lot of stormy skies to one side. We've got a good bit of sort of clear light just where the sun's coming in, and then we've got these weather systems moving over in front of the tower. So I'm just hoping that we might be able to move around it, because we've got 360 degrees potential to shoot this tower, and we might be able to get some good moody cloud in the background with some really strong bright light on the tower itself. So yeah, we're going to play around, see how we get on, and go from there. It's not going to be a stunning shot or anything, I don't think, today, but we're just making the best of what we've got available to us. And if we're really lucky and we do get a little bit more rain, which is threatening, you never know, we might even end up with a rainbow. So we're going to keep a real close eye out for one of those, and really hope to. I have got lucky at this place before with a rainbow, but I'd really like to get a better shot if I can. So if that opportunity comes up, certainly going to try and nail it today. But at the moment we've got some great light, we've got some good stormy clouds out there, and it looks quite reasonable. So I'm going to get taking a few pictures. What I think is quite interesting with this particular situation is the sun is just coming out onto the tower itself, but we've got the heavy storm cloud literally in a line right behind it, and then we've got a little bit of blue sky to the other side. So I like the contrast of it. Going to try and nail a shot with these, but we're having to work really fast because the sun is constantly going behind clouds and then popping out. So any minute that tower should really light up, and hopefully we'll get a nice shot on there. Well, in terms of composition here, I've got to be honest, it's pretty weak, but there's only very, few angles that you're going to really get here at the moment. And we're obviously trying to cope with how the sun's working and putting the light on the tower. I mean, this particular shot, it just isn't going to work unless you've got light on that tower with those big, deep, brooding clouds behind it. You just want this impact of light smashing down on that tower to really, give it some oomph on there. We're also very much governed by focal length as well, because right above the tower, there's not really an awful lot of cloud there. So if I was to go on a super wide angle and include lots of sky, there'd just be this big clear sort of blue strip at the top, which is not really what we're after. So we're trying to, go on a little bit of a longer focal length to make sure that we can, get that sort of scene squashed down to just how we want to, rather than sort of zooming in and looking sort of up. We're sitting a lot further back and shooting into the scene. So we've got all that cloud behind. I've got the old waterproofs on now because it's just started to rain, so that rainbow is a possibility, but at the moment we've got no light coming through. It's all being blocked by some cloud just behind, but I'm hopeful that that cloud will move, and there'll be a couple of small gaps in it, and it will just let a little bit of light through, in which case we might be able to nail something on it. Now that's the exact moment we've just been waiting for, as that light just came through onto the tower, and just literally as I've said it, the light's just gone again. And you can see how frustrating and tricky this particular shot is today. But we're trying to make the most of it. I did just manage to snap a couple of pictures off just before that light finished. But yeah, it's so fast and fleeting here today at Horton Tower that it's just almost impossible to get it. But I can see just in the distance, there's some light going on the trees and everything out there. So it is coming through. It's just coming through at a slightly different range, but as soon as that cloud just moves slightly over, we should get another burst of light on that tower. And with that really thick, dark, menacing cloud behind it, it should look fantastic, hopefully. As I say, it's not the best composition in the world, but we are, you know, fairly limited in what we can get here at the moment because of the direction of the cloud and the light. If I was to shoot just behind me, you know, we're talking clear sky, and we just really don't want that. It's a particularly boring shot. We're after, you know, that real sort of moment of impact of when that light hits. So we're going to hold on here for a little while longer, and, you know, we may sort of move further around and try and get a different composition in a while. But for the time being, I think this is probably our best chance of nailing a shot, so we're going to hold fire here for a few minutes. Right, I'm going to have to knock it on the head briefly. We're in the middle of a full-on hailstorm here. It's absolutely huge bits of hail smashing down, but I'm confident conditions are going to change, and it'll look good. So I'll see you in a minute. Going to take cover. Well, that was absolute mayhem. We just got caught in an absolutely full-on hailstorm. You can just see the weather system going over, and we've just had to really move really quick, because I think there's going to be some light bursts through any minute onto the tower, and we want to get this big cloud system that's behind the tower all in shot. We might even get a little bit of the blue just to give it some nice contrast in there. But yeah, it's a pretty intense shoot today. Absolutely loving it. You can't beat diverse weather conditions. In fact, just to the right, I can just see some light starting to sweep across. So hopefully, if we're lucky, in the next few minutes, we might get that light just strike this tower, and then we've got this big cloud system right behind it, and it should look pretty reasonable. I'm almost tempted to move a little bit further round, but to be honest, the composition is not even that good there. So I think we're going to have to stick where we are for the time being, and just hope for the best with this light coming through. If it does come through, we should be in for a real nice shot, I think. Just got a tiny little bit of light just coming on the tower now, so hopefully that's going to really set off that scene. There's a little bit of shadow just coming through, so the light's coming. Here it comes. The light has just gone in at the moment, but if it can just come out again, we're going to hopefully nail a nice rainbow shot just across here. It's still visible, but only just, so fingers crossed. Just got to get that light come through, but the rain is coming. We've got that there, and the light, there looks like there's a gap in the cloud. So I reckon maybe in about 2 or 3 minutes, we might actually get exactly what we want and get that light just falling on here, and we'll get a nice arching rainbow all the way across. We've got the polarizer on, and that for me is the most important thing when you're shooting one of these rainbows. You really want your polarizer cranked right round, but only if you're shooting like a half rainbow. If you're shooting the full arc, the polarizer can sometimes take some of the rainbow out. So the best thing to do is just, if you're shooting just a half rainbow, it's ideal for it. So yeah, polarizer tip for the day. That is absolutely wicked when it comes to rainbows. Rainbow at last! Fantastic. We've got the tower lit up, we've got the rainbow coming across, exactly what you go for. What a day. Another handy little tip that might just help you score it is, seeing as we're in those times of COVID now, I've got my COVID mask just over the top of my filter, and it's just stopping that rain. It's just lipping over the top of it and stopping that rain from actually getting on my filter. But the rain's coming back, sun's about to come out, rainbow's just starting to form out here, look. Fingers crossed we're going to get a decent shot on this one. Right, we've actually got a little bit of sunlight out again, but I don't know whether we're going to get that rainbow back. It's the weather system has moved round a little bit, and as you can see, it's still raining, but yeah, It's still very, very good light, so I'm going to make the most of it and just take a few of the pictures now, just with the decent sort of light and cloud system. But I think we're going to move slightly further left, and probably a better composition there. I mean, the comps that we've got with this rainbow are not great, to be fair, but as I say, you know, we have to play to the conditions, and you have to be where the rainbow is going to be in order to get it. So we've just tried to make the best of it. But yeah, it doesn't look too bad at all out there. It's certainly a good bit of fun chasing these big moody skies. I absolutely love this type of shooting. This is right up my street. And as I say, the rainbow, huge bonus. The direction where the sun's coming from at the moment, there's not looking like there's going to be an awful lot happening there for sunset, but we're going to shoot with the light coming from behind us onto the tower, because we've got this good weather system just behind. So I think if anything does light up, that's going to be the cloud that will light up behind, and we might still nail a decent sunset shot. So all to play for, and we'll see what we can get. But I'm going to move right now and just try and make the best of it, and see if we can get a better composition. Right guys, it's a little bit like musical chairs today. Once again, we've had to move because we're making a mad dash. Look at that cloud system just behind me. The sun's just about to go down, and that is going to light up if we're really, really lucky. Where we were with the pathway leading in, as much as it's a great composition, it's just not going to lend itself to that particular shot. We've got clear sky on the other side, and the majority of the shot would have just had clear sky in it. And I don't want to miss this big cloud system. So we've moved once again. Like I say, it's just one of those things. You've just got to make those mad dashes and make those decisions and get onto it. If it's there, don't miss out. So yeah, hang fire. Hopefully we'll bring you a decent sunset. And God, I'm looking forward to a sit down after this. It can be a really tough area to shoot down here. You're dealing with such a vast amount of negative space all around the tower, because essentially there's no foreground here. Your only focus is the tower. So the only way you can really make it out is to have interesting weather conditions behind it. Like I say, the rainbow, first class, that's exactly what we were after. But good bit of cloud, and it really does make all the difference. You know, I think we've done the best with the conditions that we managed today. And although it's not a great, fantastic shoot, it's been really, really enjoyable. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it just as much as I have. And, you know, I hope you'll get out there and you'll do some chasing of big weather systems yourself. It really is an incredibly enjoyable way to shoot, and very, very rewarding when it all goes right. It doesn't always go right. A lot of the time you just get a soak in, but as long as you're equipped with waterproofs, you should be absolutely fine. So go out there and enjoy yourself. I'll stick a couple of pictures up. Let me know what you think. I'll stick the rainbow one in there, and I'll put the sunset ones and a few from the weather systems as they moved over. Let me know what you think in the comments. I'd love to hear it. thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. And I really appreciate it if you could maybe just hit that like button. It really does help the video to get out there. And I really work hard on these videos, and you know, it's horrible when no one gets to see them. So it would really, really be appreciated if you can hit that like button. And if you're not a subscriber, please do consider subscribing. Hopefully I'll be able to bring you some content from much further afield as soon as this lockdown completely finishes and we're allowed to go just that little bit further. But for the moment, it's all doorstep, and I hope you guys have enjoyed Horton Tower today. It's great to have you here.